Hello student, welcome to my class once again. In this class I shall start a new chapter and it is chapter number 21, industries. In this chapter, we will study the location of the industry, classification and factors that govern their establishment and the growth. This we will discuss in this class. Now, how this industrialization started in India, across the world, that also we will see, and the transitional phase or the period also we will see. Now in the ancient days the people led a very nomadic life and lived by hunting and gathering. Whatever they need, so they used to take from the nature. So people used to move from place to place in search of food, but with the passage of time and gradually people learned the knowledge of agriculture, and when they learned the knowledge of agriculture, so people started settled life, and to lead a settled life and to cultivate the land they need water, and that is why all the ancient civilization, you will find that all the ancient civilization, Indus Valley civilization or this Mesopotamian civilization, all this civilization flourished near the water bodies or always on the bank of the river. Now with the passage of the time, many occupation developed in the human society. New goods people started to produce, and this paved the way for the development of cottage industry, the small industry. We will discuss the based on the size the different industry. Now how the modern industrialization that started, so in 18th century things began to change dramatically due to industrial revolution which take place in in Great Britain. So when this industrial revolution take place, number of changes also came up, and some of these changes are domestic system began to replace by the factory system. Now instead of making goods at home, so people started to produce in the factories, and as a result what happened, more labor began to work in the factories. So it was because of the starting of this factory or setting up of the factories, so employment generation also taken place. Large number of people started getting their work opportunities or the employment. Invention of the machine helped in the large scale production of goods in a very less period of time. Invention of the machine when took place, so as a result what happened, large scale production started, and that also done in a very less period of time. Machines do not take much time to produce large quantities of goods. Next, it is the coal, water and the mineral replace the manual labor. All this coal, water and the mineral oil, all this replace the manual labor. By using all this coal and the mineral, so the engine started running, and as a result, so say the fetching of the water, so machine is doing the same, and the earlier people used to do the same work. So now all these are replaced the manual labor. Number of mills in the factories were also established, and the large scale use of the machine in the production of goods on the large scale began to ask the division of labor and the specialization of the skills. So all people cannot do only one work, right? So based on the specialization and the skills of the people, so division of the labor also started taking place. So while working in a factory or in a mill, so engineers required, accountant, then manager, then transport system, all these required. So based on the skill, so division of the labor started taking place. Now this division or the new age machine and the skilled work force came to known as the age of the modern industry, and the division of this labor is the chief characteristics of the industry. If you prepare a case study, say by taking any manufacturing unit, so you will find that number of specialized group of the people are there who work in the factory, so all do not do the same work. Now we will see the classification of industries. First we will see the based on raw material. First one is the agro based, and all the industries that depend on agricultural sources for their raw material are termed as agro based industry. Now the industry's food are raw material. Without raw material we cannot run an industry. So industry needs raw material to produce the final goods, and that final goods we are the last consumer, the user, the ultimate user. So we use the finished good. Now to produce the goods, industry need raw material, and the raw material which comes from the agricultural activity, so these are called as agro based, and some of these are jute industry, cotton and textile, sugar industry are some of the example of the agro based industries. Next it is the mineral based industry. So those industries which get their raw material from the mining activities, by mining the land, example iron and the steel industry, automobile industry, aluminum industry, all these industry, say iron ore, okay. So when we extract the iron ore, so we use all these in the aluminum industry, say. So the aluminum industry is getting the raw material from the mining activities, and such industries are called as the mineral based industry. Second, it is the forest based industry. Now the raw material obtained from the forest, and such industries are called as the forest industry, say the paper industry, sports good industry, furniture industry are the example of this. Based on the raw material, so these are the three different classification of industries: agro based, mineral based and the forest based. Next it is on the basis of ownership. Sorry. First one is the private sector industry. This type of industry which owned, managed and run by individual or group of individual, such industries are called as the private industry, and examples are Tata, Mahindra, Birla are such type of industries. Second, it is the public sector industry. Public sector industry, now the industries that are owned and managed by the state, the country or its various agencies are called as the public sector industries. Example, it is the Rashtriya Chemical Fertilizer Bhilai Iron, Steel Plant, Indian Oil Corporation, etc. are some examples of public sector industries. Next, it is the joint sector industry. The industries which are owned and managed jointly by the state and the private firms or the companies are called as the joint sector. Oil India is one such example of the joint sector industry. Clear? Next, it is the cooperative sector industry. Now, the type of industry that are owned and managed by group of people organized into cooperative society, and the member of the cooperative society are generally the producer of raw material. Collectively, when people, a group of people, when they form the cooperative society, and after or gradually when they set up industries, such industries are called as the cooperative industries, and whatever the raw material needs by the industry, so mainly the member of this cooperative society, they produce the raw material. Now, majority of the sugar mill in India are managed and run by the cooperative society, and other example, Lijjat Papad are also, Lijjat and the Amul. So these are also the two example of this cooperative sector industry. Next, the classification of industry on the basis of size. First one, it is the cottage industry. It is a type of industry which is household type, and it is a household manufacturing unit in which goods are produced locally or by using the local available raw materials, by using the ordinary tools, and the goods are produced mainly by the member of the family. The products from this industry, cottage industry, demands of the goods are very little, demands are very less, and electricity it is not used very abundantly like the large scale industry. Cottage industry is the chief characteristics of developing countries like India and the other neighboring countries. The countries which are developing, so this type of industries are mainly very popular in all those countries. Cottage industry, mainly the family members, they do the work, and the goods whatever they produce are sold in the local markets only. Demand is also not too high, electricity is not used abundantly, and do not require huge capital like the large scale industry. Now, some of the industry, cottage industry examples are like the pottery, rope, show basket, and the jewelry, handloom, etc. So, some of the example of this cottage industry. Next, it is the small scale industry. Small scale industry, it is an extension of the cottage industry. When cottage industry is set up and the same, when it is extended or its scope is extended, it is called a small scale industry. Yes. Now, when the same cottage industry or the household manufacturing unit is extended and expand or employ a large number of people, start using machine, electricity, become a small scale industry. It is very easy to understand. Now say I have this household manufacturing unit with the available local raw materials, and I am producing by employing the same family members. So say I have been running this household manufacturing unit. In the near future, when I will expand this industry and employ large number of people, machines, electricity, this is called the small scale industry. Now in the small scale industry, skilled labors required, and it also required a big capital investment. Why? Because of using or running machines with electricity, goods are produced in large quantities and are sold in local and far away markets. Now the role of this small scale industry, this small scale industries paved the way for the gradual or paved the way for the greater industrial development in the country. Such industries are very beneficial for the job opportunities to large number of people, and examples of small scale industries are, say, the brushware, furniture, leather products, perfume, shoe, foodstuff, etc. Next, it is large scale industries. Now, the type of industries that employ thousands of laborers require heavy investment of capital, use of machine, skilled labor, and using of electricity. Management of such large scale industry is very complex in nature, and the people, those who work in the large scale industry, there exists or there is a clear cut scope of division of labor among the owner, manager, and the other workers. Goods are produced as per strict quality measure. Raw materials are used if available locally or obtained from a very distant places. Whatever the product comes out from such industry, so these are sold to nearby as well as the distant market and in the international markets. Large scale industry is developed mainly in the Europe and the American countries. Automobile, aircraft, shipbuilding industry, cement factory, chemical, fertilizer, etc. are example of such industries. It is not that only in the Europe and the American countries large scale industries are available. In India also large scale industries are also available. So, a number of industries are in operation or in running condition. Now, next we will see the location of industry. What are the factors which guide in setting up of industries? First one is availability of the raw material. Location of the industries are guided by the availability of the raw material wherever or the places where the raw material are available. So, industries are generally set up in all those areas or in all those areas where the raw materials are available in bulk or in large quantities. It becomes very important when the raw material and finished product are heavy and the perishable in nature. So, mainly transporting the finished product or the raw material, if these are heavy in nature, so the manufacturing units are mainly or generally set up in the areas where the raw materials are available. Next, it is the power supply. number of industries are there which need continuous power supply. So those industries which need continuous power supply or the electricity supply, say the aluminum extraction need continuous power supply, so are located near the power generation house or the plants. Other small industries are also there which can be run by taking the power or the electricity to distant places. So power supply is also one of the factor that guides while setting up the industries. Next, it is the cheap, efficient and the skilled workforce. While running an industry, the industrialists, they need the cheap, efficient and the skilled workforce, and without the labor machines, so an industry cannot run. So that is why cheap labor is required, efficient and the skill. Whenever all these are available, cheap, skill and the efficient labor are available, these add to the growth of industry. Next, it is the transport. Good transport system, it is the artery of development of any region. Now, while transporting the raw material and the finished product from raw material producing area to the manufacturing unit and from the manufacturing unit to the markets, so convenient transport system is required. So this convenient transport system also guide the setting up of industry. Next, it is new technology. New technology is also needed to improve the quality of goods or the commodities. And why this new technology is needed to improve? Because to compete with the goods produced in other foreign countries. Why? Because people always prefer the quality good. Next, it is capital. To run the modern industry, we need huge amount of the money or huge amount of capital for buying raw materials, purchasing new machines and for the payment of wages to a large number of laborers, those who work in the manufacturing unit. So without wages, people will not work, or the laborer they will not work, and to pay their wages one need huge amount of money. Other than these, also need money for purchasing machines, raw materials and for other expenditure. Next, it is market. Goods, whatever produced by the industries, need market for its sale. The bigger market or the markets which demands the more good ensure first consumption of goods. So market also play an important role, and it is the place where goods are sold. Next, water supply. Industry also need large amount of the water for cooling, washing or mixing, chemical cleaning and many more other works. So paper industry, iron and the steel, leather industry, all these need large amount of that water, and without water such industry cannot run. Next, it is the political stability. So political stability should also be there. if the region is politically unstable and the people are protesting or fighting, or peace and tranquility, it is not there in the area where the manufacturing unit is located, so then the expected quantities of the goods will not be produced, and as a result the manufacturing unit will be in loss. So political stability should be ensured so that goods can be produced, and this peace, tranquility in the area should be ensured for the smooth running of the manufacturing unit or industry. So these are the factors which affect the location of industries. Next we will see or discuss the iron and the steel industry. Iron and the steel industry is the basis of all other industries. The produce is used in large number of other industry. It is said that the industrial growth of a nation is measured by the iron and the steel industry. It is not only the backbone of the economy but also measured its strength. Now, this iron and the steel industry is the guardian of all other industries. How? Now say, the machine which produce cloth, this machine is produced by other industries. Clear? So now say the rice grinding mill, this mill is produced by some other industries. So that is why all these iron and the aluminum industries are this backbone of an economy and also measure the strength of the economy. Now iron ore is a bulky raw material that is used on extracting iron and the making steel out of it. And to get iron out of the iron ore, the iron and steel industry need iron ore, coal and the limestone. These are the basic materials that need by iron and the steel industries, and these are iron ore, coal and the limestone. Now in the world, Russia is the largest producer of iron and the steel. Iron in Russia, it is found in Moscow, Kuzbas in the Ural mountain region in Russia. Across the world, in a number of the countries, this iron ore is found abundantly. In India, so iron industry is centered around the source of raw material, and some of these are Jamshedpur, Durgapur, Bhilai, Rourkela, Visakhapatnam, Salem, Vijayanagar are the main steel plant center or steel plants of India. In the world, Australia, Colombia, Brazil capital is Brasilia, Venezuela, Chile, Egypt, Zimbabwe are the other steel producing countries. Now, which iron and steel industry before independence? So in India was in operation, it is TISCO. TISCO, it is Tata Iron and the Steel Company Limited, was the only steel plant in the country. Now we have, or in India, number of steel producing units are there all over the country. So this is all about the iron and the steel industry, and the development of this iron and the steel industry is considered or taken as the backbone of the economy, and also the strength of the economy is measured by these two industries. Next, it is automobile industry. Automobile industry has developed over the last 100 years, and where there is availability of the cheap and the efficient labor, big market, regular power supply, and the other required factors are there. So automobile industries are set up, and some of these are in Europe and the USA. Automobile industry are also there in India also. So the USA, Japan, Germany, France are the leading car producer. Some of the examples are General Motor, Ford of USA, Toyota, Mitsubishi of Japan, Mercedes of Germany, etc. are some of the well-known international manufacturer of the cars and the heavy vehicles. Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta in the USA, London, Oxford, Birmingham in the UK, Berlin, Stuttgart and the Düsseldorf in the Germany are the main center of the automobile industry. Apart from that, Paris, Melbourne, Sydney, Tokyo, Moscow are also such other automobile manufacturing centers. Next, it is the shipbuilding industry. It is also an important industry and also the oldest one. Earlier, this shipbuilding, it was done, or the ships were made from wood, but now the large quantity of steel sheets are used to build huge ships for different purposes. Shipbuilding industry need large scale skilled laborers, and such industries or the shipbuilding industry is spread all over the world. North America, in North America the main center of shipbuilding industry are at Chicago, Buffalo, New York, etc. In Japan, Tokyo, Kawasaki, Nagasaki are the main center of shipbuilding industry. Next, it is the railway equipment industry. Railway equipment industry is largely developed in Europe and the North America. Railway equipment industry also there in India also. Now, what are the different these equipments needed in this industry or produced by this industry? These are locomotive powered by steam, diesel, electricity, coaches, wagon, wheel, oil tanker are made in large number. In India, railway engines are manufactured in Chittaranjan, Jamshedpur, Varanasi, Perambur and Kapurthala. So these are the some of the centers where the railway equipments are manufactured in India, that you want to remember. Next, it is the chemical industry. It is one of the basic industry. Chemical industry, it is one of the basic industry, and the chemical products are used by other industries. Soap, detergent, leather, plastic, liquid, paper, paint, etc. industries are chemical as raw material. Now, in Asia, China, Japan and India have developed many chemical industries. America also. United States of America has largest chemical industry producing a wide range of chemical and the largest producer. Chemical industries produce a variety of goods. Example, the dyes, paints, the synthetic rubber, fiber, drugs, cosmetic, perfume and the pharmaceutical products, etc. Next, it is the jute industry. So these are the some of the examples or the products of chemical industry that you have to remember for the 2 mark question sometime comes. Next, it is the jute industry. It is also an important industry which provide packing material for the other industry, jute. Jute bag, mat, carpet, jute clothes are important products of this industry. India is a major producer of jute along with the China and the Bangladesh, which contribute about 85% of the total jute production in the world. Next, cotton textile industry. Cotton textile industry, it is an agro-based industry. While discussing the classification industry based on raw material, so we found that the cotton textile industry, it is agro-based industry, and such industry generally located near the cotton producing areas. Now, cotton produce, while producing the cotton, warm in the humid climate is required, and the soil should be black. Black soil is required for cotton cultivation. Development of this cotton industry, the factors which guide the setting up of the industries that we have discussed couple of minutes ago, here the same will be applicable. Say the skill, cheap and the efficient labor, transport facilities, and location of the or availability of the raw material, and many more others. In India, cotton textile industry or the industry which produce the cloth located in the state of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and the center of these cotton manufacturing units such as Ahmedabad, Kanpur, Coimbatore, Mumbai and the Chennai. The modern cotton textile industry in India started in 1815 and the first one set up in Calcutta. It was in 1854 that the real growth of the cotton mill began in India during the British period. Now, there are as many as 1,824 big mills in 1999 and 1,479 of them were in private sector and 192 in the public sector and 153 in the cooperative sector. Private sector, public sector, cooperative sector, that we have already discussed. So, the different sector own the different or the number of these cotton textile industries. Now, this is all about the cotton textile industry and the challenges that have been facing by these industries are: number one, there is a very tough competition from the international producer, especially from the Japan. Japan, by using their latest technology, machines and the other things, so they produce fine quality of the cotton textile, and that also at too much cheaper cost. Indian textile industry at several places still depend upon the traditional old and the outdated machines and equipment for producing the cotton. So, when the same is used, outdated technology or the old machine, so automatically the cost of production also increases, and as a result, so it fails to give a very tough competition in the international market. Third one, it is that the challenges that facing by the cotton textile industry, it is shortage of the good quality cotton, because why? Farmers do not get the required support, assistance, help from the government, and due to the fear of loss of crop, they are growing, or the farmers, those who grow the cotton, All time they have a fear of losing their crop, or if the crop fails, then who would support them? If the government backing is there, government supports them in the time of distress, then obviously without fail they will continuously cultivate the cotton or the quality cotton. As a result, what will happen? So the industry will get the finest quality cotton and they will produce the cloth or the goods, whatever they will produce or the industry will produce, and ultimately can give a very tough competition in the international market, or else so such industries are to face the consequences or the failure. This is all about the discussion of this chapter. You students read this chapter well at home and enjoy this class, and notes I shall give you. While reading or enjoying this class, if you face any problem, from 8 to 10 p.m. every night you call me, I shall help you. And this is all about the chapter and the day's discussion. Thanks to all.